Good morning. Good morning. I know that, it's a late morning, but this message is for every single person. Now, God bless you if you are watching this, live, or if you tune into this video later. Like, comment, and share this for me so that, I can get this message out. I want people to understand that it is the will of God, right, to want salvation for everybody. But the will of God, the will of God is certainly not enticing for everybody, simply because some people do not want to look in that direction. They hear the message, though they go through trials. When they come out of those trials, they forget that God opened doors for them. So, what I am trying to say is, you must spend time to thank the Lord, even if sometimes the results that you are expecting, because you have to understand that God knows more than you do. And that goes for every single person, simply because God created us. He gave us that light, He gave us that ambition, that power, and He gave us many opportunities to be able to use this power. And so we have to thank the Creator simply because He is mighty and He is above all, simply because with Himself, He created us all. He projects images of all of us because we all look like Him in our way. In our own unique way, we look like Him. So that is very essential to what? The growth of our abilities, the growth of our potential, simply because we need to understand our destiny. We need to accomplish our destiny. And our destiny is very important to others. Sometimes the power of abilities is for great change, great blessings, great honor. You know, in our life today, we may think that, there are many waves of changes that we can overcome without, the opportunity or without the say of God. However, He is King, He is mighty, and He wants a relationship with all of us. Imagine He created us much more unique than the angels. And He gave us authority and domain over everything He created, right? Simply because of what? The potential He knows we have. Why? Because of the type of what? Will and power He put in all of us. And so, how we must what? Activate these potentials. Because the ability that we have is to what? Grow, but also help others grow. And so we have to understand that while we are on this journey of learning, we're not just learning for ourselves, but we're also learning for others. Because our ability and our opportunity to become better lies within our journey of destiny. Now, there's so many things that, can come along where we are tested as time goes. We're not always going to pass those tests, but It is not about just one test, but it is about increments of series of tests. And so this helps you to learn, and gain. And every single time that you have not achieved something, you are successful if you have learned from those, failures. Because we call it failures, but it's really a learning curve. You see what I mean? It's really a learning curve that people must have. And so if we are learning, then it helps us to evolve and grow. You see, God is king. I always say the best things in life is about getting your positive message out. You know, you're not supposed to say, well, I'm going to divert from the true message of life. You're supposed to evolve. You're supposed to grow. There is darkness that will try to hinder you from that positive growth. However, you cannot look in that perspective. You cannot look in that avenue. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep striving, right? Because you see, the devil can use anybody, people who are very close to you, simply because of your destiny, because of your plan. And so sometimes people are in full denial because they are afraid to really, really speak the truth. And so the truth seems like it's very narrow, and it seems unpopular. However, the truth is more valuable than all the lies that you create, because relationship with Jesus Christ is a relationship. It's not a religion, because you have to know him personally, and he has to know you, which we already know he knows you. So it is up to you to also know him. And so that is why you must understand that your potential and that you as a person is important for your growth, for your elevation. See what I mean? That is the benefits of your what? Your destiny, your longevity. That is the benefit of what? Your potential. Hold on. So now the journey with God is important to your whole existence. Sometimes people don't realize the importance of it. They think it's fiction or fairy tale simply because they analyze the Bible with their state of mind instead of their state of spirit. You see, there's physical reading and then there's spiritual reading. Now, if you think everything is just physical, then you are an earthly flesh person. That means you are going to be stuck here. Simply, when you pass away, that will be the end of you, and your spirit will go into condemnation simply because you fail to recognize that it is the spirit that overcomes and overtakes everything. It is the spirit that is at the beginning and at the end. You see what I'm saying? The flesh was not there. Before the word, there was the spirit. So understand that the force of power, of energy and positivity was always there for creation. That is the best thing that we can see and know. And it is for us. I know that we are physical beings. However, we have an inner self, and we are very much aware of this. Scientists have proven this, not just scientists, but everybody is aware that there's a soul. There's an energy source within you that gives you that, uniqueness, right? If you look at somebody and you say, well, we are all, what's it called? We look different, but the soul, there's two sides to the soul. There's a good side and a bad side. So either you belong to the bad side or you belong to the good side. All of that is unique. See what I mean? All of that is unique. If you're going to get out a positive message, if you are going to talk positive, don't hold back in what you are expressing. As long as you know that is coming from the heart, you don't script it. The words that are in the Bible is to give you what positive direction on the people that were living before you and what they went through and how they got through it. And the fact that they, in the Bible, right, the prophets, the disciples, the way they worship God when they are going through trials and tribulation and things that God allowed to happen to them so that they can gain experience. You don't see a what? A disciple or a prophet with abilities out of nowhere. You see, a lot of things that happen today is there's a lot of people that have cut corners in gaining their ability because they think it's easy. Sometimes they go through a lot of trials and tribulation, but then due to the fact that they're still not seeing improvements, they go somewhere else to gain those abilities. And so what happens is the heart does not match the soul. So the projection of the power of ability of God does not work. You see what I mean? Meaning that God knows if He gives you those abilities or if He opens your understanding to those abilities that are harnessing inside of you, right? Potentially you're going to misuse it. You're not going to use it for what? The best possible way. You use it for the gain of what? Physical wealth. Think about it. Jesus told his disciples, go out, right? Go out and go out to the neighboring towns and cities and heal the sick, teach my word, of course, teach salvation, and do all kinds of miracles. And he instructed them not to ask for money. But yet, there's a lot of people who say they're prophets, but they're asking for money before they pray or before they heal. Now, you tell me, if God didn't charge when he was on the face of the earth walking up and down and teaching us salvation and fed 5,000 people and performing miracles and all of these things, and he was teaching us the original and coming to save us. Plus, he sacrificed himself for us. If he was not charging people, and he told his disciples not to charge people, how come so many people are charging people to be able to gain? How come they're doing that? These are questions that you have to ask yourself. They're charging people for what reason? It should be what they feel in their heart to give due to the gratitude, because guess what? If they are using God's ability, right? God does not require anything from you except for your what? Your thanks and your gratitude and what? your loyalty. All of these things are all free that you can potentially give. But if you're giving freely from your heart, then it is a great gift. But if you are not giving freely from your heart, then it is not a great gift. And so people need to understand, need to be careful of all of these what's it called, prophets. And you know, there are real prophets and there are real disciples, and you know, all kinds of, you know, pastors, and basically, you know, deacons, like higher levels there is. But there is only a handful. When I say a handful, right, I'm saying a small percentage, like one to two, 300,000 people. Every one real prophet or disciple is to two, 300,000 people, or 500,000, one real one. Many are there, but many are fake because they use different methods. There's the marine kingdom. There is, you know, there's the occultic kingdom. There's so many kingdoms that, you know, are willing, they're under Lucifer, so they're willing to give you abilities in a very short period of time because they require your soul. So if they say, okay, well, we'll give you fame for 5 years or 10 years, right? You'll be famous, you'll be rich. Everybody will know you for the 5 to 10 years that we're going to give you this fame. However, when this 5 or 10 years is up, you are required to then give us your entire soul. And believe it or not, many agree. There's a lot of famous people that tragedy happened to them, and it wasn't a natural cause of death. You see what I mean? It wasn't a natural cause of death. There's things that took place, like, you know, years prior to this happening, and then that was the exchange. And so people need to understand, those who go and take this type of what? Sacrifice, and they become very rich, they become very famous, understand that your worry is not about the earth, you know. Your worry is about the afterlife. Because you see, if they give you 5 to 10 years, and that 10 years is up, and then you're very famous, you have all of these things, people know you, the people cannot give you salvation. No person can place you in heaven and say, yo, you are going to go to heaven, despite what God says. It's what God says. So at the end of the day, if you do not have your name in the scroll of life and you pass away, the beginning of your what? Your problems have just started. Now, what I mean is this: if you're not going to heaven, then you're going to the opposite side. And if you're going to the opposite side, then what that means is there's going to be drastic changes in your life, right? Drastic changes in your life that will what? Do so many things that will affect you ultimately in your what? Gaining salvation. What is in your heart? You must basically, we are all here and we're being tested. Everybody has a goal. Think about it. Everybody has a destiny. Everybody has potential. Now, if you ignore those potentials and if you ignore those goals, what is going to happen? You have a short period of time because, trust me, we have so many things that people want to do. But if you gain salvation, the things that you will be able to do is much, much more advanced than you could ever imagine. Imagine that in your entire imagination and your potential of, you know, being able to vision or visualize, right? Things of great magnitude, it's much higher than that. Elevation, right, gives, it comes from great salvation, but elevation of great success, right, is what? The potential of great destiny. Hmm? We need to understand that our life matters, but we are also living for others because we are meant to help others. So, not what other people necessarily say, right? But we're living as a purpose person. You have a purpose. It's like this. If you, what's it called? If you have a doorway and there's no door, you need somebody that is a carpenter to make the door. Now, the carpenter is going to make the door, put the handles on, and then he's going to put on the door, right? And then there's somebody, because, the doorway is made, the door is made, and then there's somebody that's going to use that door. Now, if the carpenter, right, did not create a proper door, every time somebody uses that door, there's going to be what? A problem. There's always going to be a problem, and eventually that person is probably going to what? Um, have some words and say, "Who made this door? Like, come on, man. Who, you can't even make this door. Like, what's the point of what you did? You didn't do a great job." Even if that person does not know that person, all of a sudden, the negative focus of he or she having a bad experience in opening the door creates a next issue. Do you see what I mean? So, but if the carpenter did a great job and stuff and opened the door, who knows? That person might not even, say anything, but he's going to say, you know, he's going to appreciate the fact that his door looks nice. He opened the door was works great and everything. And all of those things that you're doing, you're helping. Even though you got your reward, the reward does not stop there. It keeps going. Every time you open the door, you're being blessed. So every door that you made, right? These are examples. So every door that you made, right? Anytime somebody opens that door and uses it and gets in safe and the door doesn't drop or the doorway, right? Blessings come your way. So these are what? Foundation blessings. So due to the fact that you're creative, right? God gave you your abilities. You use your abilities properly. And because you use your abilities properly, you did your job properly. And by doing your job properly, you're setting yourself up for extensive blessings. Now it keeps going. It's a potential of blessings upon blessings upon blessings. So if you made thousands of doors and say, well, I got paid for it, you got paid for it. But every time, right? Every time, right, that somebody opens that door and walks through that door, you're getting blessed. And imagine you made 1,000 doors, so 1,000 people walk through the doors every single, half an hour or a day. That's 1,000 times blessings that you're receiving. Now, we don't see it, but then look at the problems that may or supposed to happen that you are avoiding due to the fact that you did your job. You know, your job has no what's it called, boundaries on the blessings that can harness in your life. Hmm? That's what the real reward of doing your job properly. The real reward is the blessings come upon it. If you are doing something, don't matter what it is, right? Let's say you're washing a car, you wash cars every day, and you go above and beyond, and people are like, how come you're always going above and beyond, right? And you just do it, and you're like, oh, it's not necessary, just do what you need to do, right? If you do, there's so many blessings that come with that, simply because every single time the person needs a car wash, is going to come to you. Number one, you're getting physical blessing. Number two, you're getting positive energy, because whenever somebody thinks about you in a positive way, you get the blessings, you get energy from that, because the person is thinking, okay, yo, I'm going to go to this car wash today. Why? Because, yo, they do a great job. There's a guy there, and you see, there, once the words is there's a guy there, now the focus is, and the image is of that person, that individual that does a great job. And I'll wait for him or her, or you know what I mean. I'll wait for them because they take time to care for my car. That indeed is the person already blessed you, and most of the time they're not even aware of it, because you have the authority to bless people. You see what I'm saying? But it comes in the form of like social security. Just like how social security is in this country, when you get a social SIN number, you get social security. When you do all kinds of things, you get bonds and all of these things. However, you don't physically see them, but they are there. You see what I mean? And they are all given to you. So, due to the things that you try to create and do and everything, there's bonds that are created that helps you, right? Shows what kind of level you are as an individual. Same thing. There's bonds that you create whenever you do a proper job, because the word will come back and it keeps going and it keeps going. And people will, talk about you and say, yo, I want to try for myself. And they go and try it. And then they have a positive thing. And so the blessings recycle. It keeps going, keeps going, it keeps going. See what I mean? Because guess what? In the spiritual world, it's the opposite of the physical, but the doings of it is sort of the same. Like the reward scales of it is sort of the same. Like if you do a good job, you're going to get what? Abundance of blessings. You will. If you do a bad job, right, you're going to get negative blessings, right? So all of them are all changes. So just think of it. You are a master of your craft. Why are you a master of your craft? Do you do it just because you can do it? Or do you do it with your inner self, with your heart's desire? Because the desire comes from, the Most High. And you want to change people in a positive way. That desire is coming from the Most High. Because you don't know who needs that message, who needs that encouragement, that time. Because we live on words of positivity. You know what I mean? It's been proven. If you are, what's it called? If you're growing plants outside in your garden, or in your house, glass in a jar or a vase or something like that, you're growing a plant, right? And you, every day, there's one that you talk to, there's one that you ignore, and there's one that, you don't say nice words, you say negative. If you check in a course of 1 month, right, you're going to realize that the plant that you talk positive to is going to grow nice and healthy, and it's going to grow much better than the rest. The one that you ignore might rot, and the one that you say negative things to will die, will wither away. It won't even grow to its potential, because that is the power of, of the energy that you project upon things. So just remember, it is essential to what? Utilize your abilities to the max potential. Because I told you, one person, if you can influence one person, you have done your job. See what I mean? Because that one person is also going to what? Influence so many. And the fact that you have changed one and that person has changed the next, it's a cycle, and it keeps going. Because chances are, it's how you explain what you said, what you shown, your demonstration, your skills levels, all of that is given. It's like you're given power and energy to every individual you help them, right? Every individual you're giving power and energy to them, and then the blessings is like your blessings will come every time they make a change. So every time they go out and they also create something positive and others see and they show them, then it's an extension. It's like brackets upon brackets upon brackets, right? And so the more and more you have done, then the blessings. Samuel, right, blessed David while he was young. And so, because Samuel did what God had asked, the blessings that came upon Samuel and his family is is just forever, because simply because that is what he was asked to do, and he did the will of God. And so that is the understanding of continuous blessings. And because David was what? So successful in what? Worshiping God, because he took God's relationship to a next level. He played music just to worship God. And everything he did was to what? Please God. Because of that, even though he fell short at some point in time, he still was able to get a second chance. So do your job potentially from your heart, not from your mind. Yes, you think to do it, but do it in goodness of being good and wanting good. Don't do it to think that, oh, if I do this, this person is going to like me better, or this person is going to, find me more trustworthy. Because once you start thinking like that, then it becomes a trap. That means the good that you do does not become blessings that you expect it to be. Simply because if you're just analyzing and utilizing the mindset in order to do something positive rather than the heart, right? It doesn't work out, because it's not supposed to be something that you mentally strategize. Doing good comes from the heart. The mind has the orders, but the energy is within the heart. That's why it says project from the heart, right? Because if you project from the heart, it gives you a great reward, because if it is positive energy behind it, then you will receive the blessings. It becomes authentic in what you have done. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, and share, and subscribe, guys. Have a great day. Once again, this is Elvis Dual. from More Life Inc. Studio, signing off. Bye now.